Hello and welcome to Biomedicine Easy by Dr. Bensaada. Today we are diving into one of the most incredible areas of modern science, that powerful link between what's going on in your gut and what's going on in your head. So let's get right into the amazing science of how your food can literally change your mood.
You know, we all use phrases like these, right? But what if I told you they aren't just cute sayings? They're actually clues to a really deep biological conversation that's happening inside your body all the time. That feeling? That's your gut and your brain talking to each other in real time. Now, there's a scientific name for this connection, and it's called the Microbiota-Gut-Brain Axis. It sounds complex, but just think of it as a super network where your gut, the trillions of tiny microbes living in it, and your brain are in constant contact. They're always sending messages back and forth, influencing your health, your emotions, and even how you behave. In fact, this connection is so profound that a lot of researchers now call the gut our second brain. It's not just for digestion. It's a huge player in our mental and emotional well-being. So how exactly do they talk to each other? Well, it all happens through three absolutely incredible pathways. Okay, our first pathway is what I like to call the neural highway. Imagine this as the direct, super fast fiber optic cable that connects your two command centers, your brain and your gut. So I know this diagram looks a little complicated, but the key thing to see here is this main physical link, the vagus nerve. This is the longest cranial nerve in your body, and it really does act like a superhighway, zipping information from the gut straight to the brain. That gut feeling we talked about, it's traveling right along this nerve.
And this neural pathway is unbelievably fast. We're talking milliseconds. It's constantly sending the brain updates about what's happening down in the gut, which can influence everything from how you react to stress to your overall mood. But a direct line isn't the only way they communicate.
Our second pathway is less like a direct cable and a lot more like a super sophisticated postal service. It's all about sending little chemical packages through your bloodstream. You see, your gut is home to trillions of microbes, and these tiny organisms are basically miniature chemical factories. They are constantly busy producing all sorts of things your brain needs, including some you'll definitely recognize. Serotonin, that's our happy chemical, GABA, which helps keep us calm, and dopamine, the chemical that drives our motivation. They also make other really important things like short-chain fatty acids. And here is the most stunning fact of all. Are you ready for this? Up to 95% of your body's serotonin, that key happiness molecule, is made in your gut, not your brain. That one statistic completely changes how we have to think about mood and mental health. So these chemical messengers get released into your bloodstream, they travel all over your body, and many of them can actually cross the super-selective blood-brain barrier. And once they get inside the brain, they directly influence its activity, which affects how we think, how we feel, and how we see the world. All right, let's talk about the third and final pathway. Think of this one as your body's security force and its emergency response system, where your gut is basically a critical border checkpoint. This is really a tale of two guts. On the one hand, you've got a healthy gut. It has a ton of different kinds of microbes and a really strong sealed barrier. But when things get out of balance, a state scientists call dysbiosis, that microbial diversity drops, and the gut lining itself can become permeable or leaky. Now, this leakiness kicks off a really dangerous chain reaction. It lets inflammatory molecules from bacteria slip right through the gut wall and get into the bloodstream. This triggers a huge immune response, releasing inflammatory messengers called cytokines. And these molecules, they can travel all the way to the brain, cross the blood-brain barrier, and cause what we call neuroinflammation, which is directly linked to mood disorders. So let's just connect all the dots here. We've got the neural highway, the chemical messengers, and the immune patrollers. All three of these pathways come together to directly impact our mental health. And listen, this isn't just some interesting theory. The clinical implications are absolutely enormous. There is growing evidence in the scientific community that messing with this gut-brain axis is a major contributing factor in the development of conditions like anxiety and depression. So to quickly sum it up, an unhealthy gut can create mental health challenges in a few key ways. It can throw off the balance of those crucial mood chemicals like serotonin. It can mess up our body's main stress response system, and it can fuel that chronic low-level brain inflammation that we now know is a hallmark of depression.
But, and this is a big but, here is the most empowering part of this entire story. This incredibly complex system is deeply influenced by something you and I have direct control over multiple times a day, our diet. We can literally choose to feed our gut, and by doing that, feed our brain.
This slide basically lays out the game plan, and it's probably simpler than you think. On one side, we want to favor foods that feed our good microbes. That means lots of fiber from fruits, veggies, and whole grains. These are prebiotics, basically food for your good bacteria. Fermented foods like yogurt and kimchi give you probiotics, which are the good bacteria themselves. And things like berries and fish give you antioxidants and omega-3s to fight inflammation. On the other side, we really want to limit the processed foods, the sugary stuff, and that typical low-fiber Western diet, because we know those things can harm our gut microbes and promote inflammation.
So the link is crystal clear. Your gut and brain are having a constant, dynamic conversation, and your diet is one of the most powerful tools you have to make sure that conversation is a healthy and happy one. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. If you found this helpful, and I hope you did, please give this video a like and be sure to subscribe to Biomedicine Easy by Dr. Bensaada for more science made simple. Thanks so much for watching.